everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be.
And welcome back. Screwballs Podcast, Episode 4, Baseball Comedy Debauchery. I'm your host, Jake Gallo, along with my producer sidekick, Mr. Brian.
Salud.
And welcome back. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're enjoying the show. We're working it out. We're getting through the kinks. Thanks for being patient. Appreciate all of you that have been tuning in. We are now also available via only audio, traditional podcasts on Apple. What is it? We on
Apple
iTunes?
And Spotify.
Apple,
Yeah,
Spotify, Anchor, which is now Spotify anyway. But anyway, wherever you listen to your podcast, look us up. You'll find us there. But definitely go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and tune in. I hope you've been liking this. Hope I'm not killing you. If you want to punch me in the face because I talk too much, that's kind of the idea of the show. I apologize, but that's why we're here. So I hope you've been enjoying it.
If you want to punch Jake in the face, just subscribe down below.
Subscribe and tell me I hate your big greasy smile and your fucking dumb hair.
Grow your mustache back.
Grow your mustache back. You look like you're dying. Any of that kind of shit. We appreciate it. It's good for views. So today's show, I'll just brief you. I think we're going to be talking about our main subject is going to be, and it comes up a lot, I think, is people like to often slight baseball players and say that they're not athletes because they're not, because baseball is a slower paced game. And so to get into it today, I've always said myself that that's because baseball is more of a game, not a sport. Mm-hmm. They are athletes.
More strategy.
Yes, there is a lot more strategy. Every sport has strategy. Anytime I mention this, people get, what are you talking about? Have you ever played football? Yes, I did. 6 years, and it was Pop Warner, but I understand the game. I understand the plays. We had to learn them. It's at a deeper level in the pro level, like any sport, basketball, hockey, all that. But no, baseball, is it a sport or a game? I'd say it's a little of both, but I would call it more of a game. It's almost like a board game, a card game. My friend told me, who played, a lot longer than I did, said like, yeah, man, it's checkers or checkers.
Chess?
That's me on stage bombing on a joke. I'm just kidding. But yeah, he said it's chess, not checkers. And that's like, I know that's cliched and pretty run of the mill, but it's true. It is. There's every pitch.
Bases.
No other sport has bases. It is true. Yeah, baseball has no goals, though. Football has no goals. Soccer and basketball kind of have goals. Hockey has goals.
Yeah.
Football's got an end zone.
Baseball has home plate.
Home plate. There's a lot of different shit going on.
You go home.
Yeah, exactly. Baseball's great. You get to go home. That's a good motivator. We're trying to get home. But so we'll get into that later. Talk about if it's a sport or a game. Both. What do you guys think? Are baseball players athletes compared to other athletes in other sports? I say yes. I actually think baseball players are better athletes.
Ooh, spicy take.
That's right. We'll get into that. So we'll get into that a little later, and we'll get into some funny stuff just for the hell of it, because it's always fun to talk about sex. Sex is something we all do, whether it's masturbation or we actually get lucky enough to have intercourse. Whether you're gay, straight, trans, everything. It doesn't.
Everybody comes.
Everybody has orgasms, unless you're 47. And I have orgasms still. I just don't come anymore. I don't. You guys know what I mean? I'm dried out, dude. I need to. I really. Yeah.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this guy knows. You got no hair. Anyway, so. Anyway, there's some stuff we want to get into about funny sex stories involving pro athletes, mainly baseball players, because that's what this is a topic of. And there's some kinky shit in there, and it's fun to talk about. I love talking sex. I don't care if it's gay sex. But I mean, me preference-wise, I'm straight, so I like heterosexual straight sex. I'm saying talking about sex, discussing sex. I love it. It's fascinating to me. I love that humans mate and we get close and disgusting with each other. It's so fucking funny, and it's fun. So anyway, and there's funny, kinky shit that happens when you involve drugs and alcohol and you're lonely and shit. And baseball players are no exception. So we'll get into that later. But hey, we got a new thing. We're going to check in. Our first episode was with one of our favorite characters in all of baseball, maybe one of yours, Lenny Dykstra. We're going to call this segment where we check back in because Lenny is still active. Lenny is popping. He's always busy. He'll tell you in this tweet. We're going to go back and check Lenny. We're going to check in with Lenny every week, see what he's doing. And let's tune it up. This segment is called Lenny and the Mets.
Hey, Lenny Dykstra, I'm in New York City, man. Just kind of walking around and just wondering, like, which is, what the fuck? Another more noise. Hey, check it, man. Big shit going on. Big shit. I mean, bigger than you know. I saw a werewolf with in the Soho in the rain. Hey, look, like while you're sleeping, just so you know, while you're sleeping, I'm working.
Yeah, he is.
That's what Nails does. While you're sleeping, I'm working. You know what? Maybe on a lot of different things, but I'm working. Nails out. You know what? Don't have my teeth in, so what? I don't give a fuck. You know why? Winning player. I don't care. Glass half full motherfucker. Believe it.
What the fuck?
I don't give a fuck. I got my teeth out. Wow. I'm a half glass full motherfucker.
He's amazing.
Dude, did you see my favorite was he's fucked up, obviously, and he's just babbling, but he's trying to listen and sing and tell. He's not singing. He's talking and trying to wait. What did I say? He's listening to Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London. Ow! Did you hear him? He's all werewolf out having, and then he pauses to like listen. He's all having a. Yeah, Trader Vic's. I don't know, something. I don't got my teeth in. Dude, this guy is a fucking legend.
Oh, my God.
Nails is always working, man. When you're sleeping, he's always working. He doesn't mean he's actually doing a job, but he's always doing something, man. He's working. He's working on getting poon, apparently. Lenny's a big poon freak, if you didn't know. But that's great. So was that a tweet from Lenny?
That was a tweet from
When was that?
May 10th.
That was literally fucking yesterday. This guy is great. How old's Lenny again? 60?
I think so, yes.
60 years old?
Let me double check that.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The guy is a machine, dude. That guy like has more energy than I ever had. Like he's just cruising. He's literally, he sounded like me after like 2 pints at the racetracks. Like he's all excited and like into his fucking phone. He's like, hey, what's going on? Fucking.
He's just
you know what he's working on right there?
Government.
He's working on getting poon. Did I tell you, Lenny, speaking of our baseball sex shit, we'll move on from Lenny. Oh, no, wait. I got to read this about Lenny.
Oh, yeah.
We're still on the Lenny subject, but sex and Lenny go hand in hand. Dude, this guy, we all know Lenny loves fucking poon. We went over this, but look at this. There's an article that came out. It's funny. Okay, Lenny's always cruising around. This is funny. You don't want to know the Lenny Dykstra twisted sex life. This is an article in the New York Post, but I was just tripping. I wasn't tripping. It doesn't surprise me at all, but it's funny. The former Mets center fielder who published a tell-all memoir about the shady side of pro baseball moonlights as a gigolo for elderly women, he revealed on the Howard Stern show. Lenny's a gigolo for elderly women. He pimps himself out.
That's amazing. Howard
asked him too. It says in the article, "Would you fuck a woman your age?" Stern asked him. "If they paid me," he shot back. This was when it's like 7 years ago. This is when Dykstra was 53. Dykstra, 53, confessed on a show that geezers pay. That's what he said. Geezers pay him for companionship and romantic dinner dates, but he refused to say whether they gave him cash for sex. That's a definite. Lenny's a pimp. Lenny's out. Listen to this. This gets better. One of the women, who is in her 80s, gets on his nerves because she always wants her to stick his fucking tongue down her throat. He told the shock jock. "We're talking about grandma. You're talking about a fucking gray bush, bro," Dykstra said. That's a direct quote from Lenny Dykstra right here. "We're talking about grandma. You're talking about a fucking gray bush, bro," Dykstra said. The big mouth baseball great doesn't prefer to go all the way with grannies because their bones are brittle, he added. Their bones are brittle. Lenny don't want to take anyone out at the plate. You know what I'm saying? In his new book, which was exclusively excerpted from the Post earlier this week, Dykstra claims he would hire private eyes to dig up dirt on umpires so he could intimidate them at games.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
He's getting dirt. He's praying PIs to find shit out about like Country Joe West and Dana DeMuth and shit. So he'd be like, yeah, man, I heard Joe West takes it up the ass, man. He's like, he's all stepping in the box. He's all, so hey, man, how's your ass? And he's like, he like finds all this shit out. Dana DeMuth doesn't even like to have sex. He just likes to, he's one of those weirdos that just likes to have ass play while he jerks off. And like,
Jesus.
I'm making this shit up, dude. I don't know. Lenny walks up to the plate and he's all, ass play, huh? He's like winking at him. It's like, he's all calling strikes a fucking foot outside the zone after that. He also admitted that he used Jack Nicholson as a wingman for picking up women and went on a 10-day coke bender with actor Mickey Rourke. Well, I think we knew that.
This article must have been so fun to read.
Yeah, exactly. But sex may have been his favorite vice, he said Tuesday. I thought God put me on the earth to entertain people on the baseball field, but he actually put me on earth to get women off, he said. Lenny's a slayer, dude. This guy's like fucking, this dude's like John Holmes. Like he
says,
I'm like Picasso, the sports legend
like
bragged of his bedroom prowess. I'm like Picasso. Dykstra, a member of the World Series champion 1986 Mets, also boasted about the number of women he slept with while on the road and while traveling on his private plane.
He was the fucking Ric Flair of baseball.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super unfamiliar with Ric Flair's WWE prowess. I know who Rick is and his whole thing, but I don't know much about it. Was that his gig?
Oh, there was like a whole documentary about him.
Rick. Oh, okay. See, I got to watch this now.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Lenny said, the plane became my drug. For instance, you're sitting around in your hotel suite fucking bored, saying, where do you want to go? I spun the globe. Want a trip to Monaco? He told Stern. I was trying to tap the Princess Stephanie. I just wanted some royalty on the belt, he said. He genuinely wanted to go fuck the Princess of Monaco. That's like, he's like, yeah, man, I wanted some royalty on the belt. This is Lenny fucking Dykstra. This isn't like, this isn't Charlie Sheen. This isn't like the heir of Dubai. This is fucking Lenny Dykstra, the scourge of fucking Santa Ana, Orange County.
Hey, Princess, you ever heard about the 86 Mets?
Yeah. He's coming up like chaw in his mouth and a bloody nose. He's all, hey, you ever heard of the 86 Mets?
He's got
like
dip,
spits and just fucking hitting a spittoon. Ding. Yeah, I'd like to wrap you around the foul pole. It's Lenny shit. In the radio interview, Dykstra also dished about doing time in jail, partying with Charlie Sheen, and oral sex, calling it artwork, man. That was in the air quotes too. Artwork, comma, man. What is he, Bart Simpson? So fucking artwork, man.
Jesus Christ.
Asked about his bad habit of saying too much in interviews and books, he insisted he's just an honest guy. I speak the truth, and sometimes people don't like the truth, he said. Lenny's great, dude. I'll never get sick of listening to Lenny. I want to hang out with Lenny. Dude, what do you think the chances are of us getting Lenny on this podcast, dude?
I'd say pretty good.
Do you think we could fly him to Oxnard? Dude, I would drop $80 for a round trip ticket on Spirit for Lenny.
Spirit.
He doesn't give a fuck. Dude, think of the trash he would meet on that plane. That he might fuck on the plane, and he could write about it in his new book. I'm like, hey, Lenny, I'll buy you a Spirit airline ticket, and I'll send you a fucking teener in the mail. Take that to the airport. He'd do dust it the minute he opened the mail, but take that to the airport. Go on Spirit Airlines. It's like a fucking Greyhound bus terminal in the air. I guarantee you break that out. You'll get one of those girls in the fucking bathroom and you'd be on the Mile High Club all over again. Just like your private jet. except you'll be sitting in lawn chairs like Spirit has. No, we could get Lenny out here on Spirit Airways if he survives the flight. And then fucking, if anyone will survive a Spirit Airlines crash, it's Lenny Dykstra. He like comes out, everyone dies, and there's like smoke and fire everywhere, and they're like, wait, there's somebody moving down there. Lenny comes up, he's all, fuck, what happened, man? He's all scratching his head. He's got like a straw up his nose. Oh my God. But yeah, dude, we'll get him out here. Give him a Spirit Airlines flight. He can stay here on your couch. I'm just offering up your pad. No, he can stay. He can stay in Luca's dog cage out in the living room.
My girlfriend.
Yeah. But he's not staying at my house. I got kids. He's all getting my kids into coke and trying to fuck my chick. I was like, yeah, Lenny, you're off limits. We'll put him up in the Motel 6 on Johnson over by the new fucking yeah. We'll set him up in the fucking outhouse down to right here at the construction site. Fly him out on Spirit.
Oh shit!
Wait, I bet you'd do it.
Yeah, he probably.
I'll be all Lenny. I'll give you an 8-ball for free. He'd fucking find a way out here. California, man, it's my home turf, man. I know how to work those girls back home. I would love to just. I love the way he talks.
Yeah, he's like he's like the
even
Frank
reading
Sinatra.
that article, dude.
The Frank Sinatra too of baseball.
The Frank Sinatra. So I'll kick you right back down to the butt. You know, you're up here in the penthouse with me. I'll fucking kick you right back to the bottom.
Instead of old blue eyes, he's old brown eye.
Yeah, old brown eye. Yeah,
he likes to stick it in the pink.
Yeah, I bet you that's like Lenny's pickup lines. I bet he like drives around it, like looks at hot chicks at like somewhere down and like he'll be at the Oaks Mall, dude, and he'll drive up to some chick and he'll be like 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, baby, and they're like thinking they're gonna be all ooh and want to get in his car.
Some old fuck.
Yeah, dude, some 60-year-old throwing Star Trek signs at you about sex. What is it?
He's amazing.
I can't do the Vulcan fucking thing. Can you do the Vulcan nerve pinch? The Vulcan, that's a sex thing. I can't even do that. Spock must have been good. Oh, look at that. Came my shoulder. It's like I'm throwing gang signs up here.
Throw your shoulder.
Break my fingers. Grannies are brittle. I got to be careful. Lenny would probably break my bones trying to fuck me. You know what we're talking about today in Major League Baseball, Brian?
What am I talking about? I'm talking about sex, boy. What the hell are you talking about?
We're talking about sex. You know, it's nothing crazy. I think we're all hip to the fact that every major sporting league is full of sexual deviance. And why not? You're young, you're famous, you got lots of money. I wasn't even famous, and that's all I wanted to do in my 20s, right?
That's why I started a band.
Yeah. Hey, I was in a band for 15 years, and that's what it was. But no, I understand that. We had an article that we pulled up, and this is a question for you people out there. How do you judge this? How do you differentiate? I don't know, but you guys be the judge of that. Brian, what do you think? What is the horniest, like what sport, shall I say, has the horniest fans? That's what the article said. And lo and behold, it said baseball.
Baseball, everybody.
There it is. Baseball is the horniest sport.
The flowers are blooming.
Oh, that explains a lot.
It's springtime.
Jake, wait, you really love baseball, huh? And then this article comes up in my head, and I was like, absolutely. No, but, I mean, who doesn't like sex? That's a stupid thing. Baseball is the horniest sport. So this article is not talking about, like, the players or people per se. This is talking about the fans. Am I right?
Yeah.
Most of my friends that I know that really do like baseball are, they're not hornier than the next guy or girl that I know, but they definitely, I don't know. I guess it's like
bats and balls. Everything's a ball, you know, there's a lot of ball
bats,
talk.
balls and clubs. No, low and inside, down and away. No, none of that stuff. I don't think. I think it's, to be honest with you, I think it's the fact that it's kind of like domestic construction workers / dad type dudes out there. They're not like superstar flashy hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a fashion show.
Right, it is. Whereas baseball is kind of that, as women might say, like, They like the Harrison Ford type. The guy was a carpenter who turned actor. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that was probably why they thought he was hot, because he wasn't like a Hollywood born. He wasn't a Nepo baby get into Hollywood. He wasn't like a superstar model. He did fucking construction. He was like, he drove a truck. He wore a tool belt. I think that baseball players get that, kind of the hot dad. Like, I've heard females say this. This is why I'm saying this. My friend's mom back in the day, she loved Brett Butler. You remember that little leadoff hitter for the Atlanta Braves? And he went to the Dodgers for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Little stocky guy, center field, stole bases. He was a cancer survivor, but I remember her specifically saying, like, she wanted to go to the game and look at Brett Butler's cute little butt and and I've heard a lot of women say that.
Is it because his last
I love
name
the
was
pants?
Butler?
No, it wasn't because his last name was
Steve
Butler.
Sachs?
Steve Sex.
Steve Sex. Come on.
Sachs, dude. That was one of my
Sexy man.
favorite players as a kid. Steve Sachs, 1986. He hit .332, and I think he lost. Did he win the batting title, or he lost out to Tony Gwynn by like 2 points on the last day?
Yeah.
But anyway, I liked him. He was fast, gritty, but he. I had a poster in my room, and it said, no, mine said the Dodger Kid, because he had run Rookie of the Year and had him outside Dodger Stadium with like a hot rod and all this like fun little, whatever the fuck it was. But I also saw one I did have one years later when we went to the Yankees. He played on the Yankees at the end of his career, and it was just him in the pinstripes hitting a ball, and it said Sax Appeal.
Yeah. They really dressed that one up.
Yeah, Sax Appeal. Old ladies always talk about, they love the baseball uniforms. They're like tight, especially back in they're, it makes sense, dude. They're tight ass uniforms. You're not like, you know what I mean? It's like really more kind of salt of the earth type dudes. Very gritty. It's a grind. It's not real flashy. It's like it's not flashy like the NBA. It's not something you see, like, it's not as popular as the NFL. But it's like, I feel that way about hockey too. I feel like a lot of chicks really like hockey players.
Yeah.
Because
they're tough.
They're tough. Yeah, they're tough, and they're not like super ultra famous.
Have you ever seen a fat hockey player?
No, dude.
Yeah.
You ever ice skated? It's
terrible.
I actually really enjoyed it, other than the shin splints I got. I got like shin splints and fucking cramps in my feet the night, but that's because I'd never done it before. But I actually really liked it. I thought it was kind of fucking fun.
It's cool.
I can't roller skate for shit, but somehow ice skating, I was like, I'm going to put some effort into this. This could be valuable at some point. Anyway, no, I don't know what it is. And then the dudes, every friend of mine that's a baseball fan, that's not true, but like, I know a few in particular that had bouts with like sex addiction and,
Really?
I'm not going to say names. They're friends of mine. And so that's kind of a weird thing to think about. It's kind of stupid to talk about. Every dude and girl I know at some point, how many of your friends go, oh, that guy's horny? There's a couple of them I know, like, yeah, that kid doesn't stop talking about sex, or that guy didn't stop talking about sex. But is that like what are they all baseball fans? So it's hard to tell. What's this article say? What does this have to say with it? Is this an opinion piece? I'm sure it is, but
yeah.
I mean, there's no statistics. Baseball fans fuck the most. Like, that's not, it's stupid.
Baseball is dudes in pajamas, mostly standing around.
Dudes in pajamas, mostly standing around. What do you guys think? Does baseball have the horniest fans? That's a tough one to tell. How do you measure that shit? That's a stupid article. I could write that. Lena Dunham
wrote a tweet, and then Lenny Dykstra.
But why does Lena Dunham? Is she a huge is she a baseball? I
mean, she's a
baseball enthusiast.
She is a switch hitter.
Okay, but why is she in this article? Oh, she wrote a tweet saying what?
This was back in 2017. She's like, I'm horny for baseball players. Wow. And then Lenny says...
Big fucking deal.
I'm looking
you said, and Lenny says, Lenny's involved? Of course he's fucking involved. Some fucking starlet says something about horny for baseball players. I'm just looking to tease her and break her heart. Don't worry, dude.
Oh, Jesus. Lenny.
Don't disrespect cunts.
DM me. That got the
DM
most
me. It's just documented shit. Like Jose Canseco is a big hornball. He fucked a bunch of girls, had some shit on file. He was wasn't he with Madonna? So was A-Rod. A-Rod's got another guy that's got a fuck book full of them, dude. That guy and Derek Jeter have black books that are just like pretty remarkable. Mariah Carey, fucking Kate Upton. She's now with Justin Verlander, isn't
that's
she?
what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Wow. See, there is groupies. The one baseball groupie that I always liked personally was Alyssa Milano. Who was Verlander with her too, or no? Who was she with?
Verlander got around.
NBA gets they usually seem to dabble quite a bit.
Get all the Kardashians at the NBA.
Yeah, actually, that's a curse. yeah. Fuck you, NBA. You guys get the Kardashians to go around.
The report for Alyssa Milano, she has dated pitchers Carl Pavano.
Oh, Carl Pavano from the Marlins.
Barry Zito.
Oh, she was with Zito.
And Brad Penny.
Oh, she just fucked the whole Marlins fucking squad.
And Russell Martin.
Really? Dude, I didn't know she got down like that.
Yeah, she's a
groupie, dude. Alyssa Milano fucks a lot of baseball players, guys. Name that group again.
Carl Pavano, Barry Zito.
Okay, Zito was not part of the Marlins. Pavano was part of that lineup that won the World Series. Brad Penny was. Who was the other one?
Russell Martin.
Martin wasn't. She nailed two of the Marlins. Was it the 98 squad with Brad Penny?
I think so, yeah.
Brad Penny, Carl Pavano, Josh Beckett, and damn, Alyssa Milano, dude. Russell Martin.
Tom Glavine.
Milano fucked Tom Glavine, too? Alyssa Milano has fucked 5 baseball players. I love this woman. What a legend, dude. That's great.
This is the greatest. My stress reliever is usually baseball. In fact, sometimes when I can't sleep because my mind is racing, I close my eyes and think about being at the stadium. I create game-winning situations.
This is Alyssa Milano?
Yeah, that's her quote.
Alyssa Milano and I have a lot in common. She stresses out and watches baseball to relieve it. And then what happens is you know what happens when you're stressed out. I like to beat off and take a nap. That's probably what she does. Baseball, jerking off, and naps. Me and Alyssa Milano got something in common.
That's weird because most people say like you have to think of baseball if you don't want to,
when you're about to come and you don't want to because you want to keep it going and she's not there yet and she's gonna get angry at you, and so you're like, okay, how do I hold out? And you're like pinching your nipple or fucking you're hurting yourself some way, mentally or physically, like you're pinching your love handle to cause pain so you can kind of distract from the feeling of the stroke, and then like do you know what I mean? You do this, but that's what they say is think of baseball stats, not baseball. But I think it's baseball stats. Like, I've done that. I'll start breaking down, like, Kershaw's career whip. Walks and hits per innings pitched while I'm going doggy style because I don't want to pop. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going like, oh, shit. Fuck, I'm right there. Don't think about it. But you can't lose it. So you go to something that's not, like, disgusting. You're not going to be like, I can't come yet and start thinking of fucking dudes, when you're not. You can't do that. So what happens is you go to something that's not a turnoff, that won't lose the heart on, but also isn't exciting, really. You're like, what was Sandy Koufax's career ERA? Wait, was it 65 or 66? 60 through the 5 for the perfect game. You start doing stats, you're trying to figure out like earned run average and shit. He's at like 53 innings pitched and he's given up 13 earned runs. What is that? And you're like, as you're going through the motions, man, Alyssa Milano, I like that, dude. She's always been, she was on, she was, everyone, all of us kids had a crush on her when she was on, what was the show with Tony Danza? Who was also a fucking baseball player.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Tony Danza, excuse me. His name made me almost throw up. Hey, come on, Monica. Was it Monica or Monique? What was the fucker? Monica. Tony Danza, right? He was supposed to be a former Major League Baseball player who was now the nanny of the house.
Yeah, he was always at Dodger games.
But in real life, was he a baseball player or that was his thing on the show? Now we got to look up Tony fucking Danza. On the show, wasn't he a former St. Louis Cardinal? That's how good baseball was then. You could play and retire, and the best job you could get to survive afterward was being a fucking nanny. Hey, that's another thing. Is there a great movie about horny baseball fans and women? Bull Durham, huh?
Yep.
What does Annie do? She takes in young kids, young minor leaguers, and she brings them in. She teaches them about baseball life by basically being she's their booty call. She fucks all these kids in the minor leagues, and that's every season she has new dick. That's what happens. Am I wrong?
Oh, Susan
every
Sarandon.
season, she was.
She was hot.
She was hot.
Yeah,
she's still hot. I like Susan Sarandon. Look at that.
Yeah,
look at that, dude.
That's
she
not
has
bad.
that. She's got that. She's got that little southern draw. She's a redhead.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It works.
Big old nice mom tits. They're just, dude. I'm serious, dude. Tim Robbins. Hey, man, they ended up getting together in that movie. You know that? That's where they met and ended up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All that on-scene fucking, dude. He was stoked. He's all, shit, I'm actually going to do this later. What was going on in Major League?
Oh, yeah.
Jake Taylor's fucking down in Mexico banging broads, and he goes out there. What's Corbin Burnson is like having affairs. Yeah, and then Charlie Sheen fucking starts fucking his wife. And it's just, that's all it is. It's a drama fuck fest, and somehow they win. They were like trying to recreate the 86 Mets in that movie,
a little
dude.
bit, yeah.
They didn't mention any of the cocaine or trash in planes, but, you know, maybe they're considering baseball fans the horniest, although this has happened in every stadium. But do you remember there was a big story when they built the Toronto Sky Dome, and because it has a hotel and the windows overlooked out in left field, and two people were fucking doggy style watching the game, and everyone in the stadium was just watching them. Hey, look, and they're just fucking away. I'm sure that's happened at Wrigley Field too, at the apartments across the street. I was at a Raider game once, one of the only two I ever went to, and they're in LA, and we were driving like in traffic leaving the Coliseum. Some chick was driving, and the guy was leaning over this hat backwards, just like as we're going bumper to bumper in between trying to get out of the parking lot. And he's just blasting her, like finger blasting, just, and she's losing her mind, dude, like slamming her head back into the seat with the hat on, but sunglasses. She was like, and it was so obvious, dude. And we were all, I mean, of course it was a fucking Raider game. Why wouldn't it be? Go to Dodger Stadium and watch people get beat the shit out of in the parking lot. Yeah. And then you go down to the Coliseum and watch some chick getting finger blasted. Oh, you know what else happened to that game? It was right around Christmas time, and it was against the Chargers. And there was some guy in a Chargers jersey dressed as Santa Claus who got fucking just rolled down the stair by like 4 Raiders fans. All you saw was fists just flying by these, surrounded by Raiders fans, and this big fat Santa Claus with a beard and a hat and everything, but wearing a fucking Chargers jersey just went tumbling down the staircase, getting his ass beat. So I saw Raiders fans jumping Santa Claus. Saw some girl getting finger blasted in the parking lot by fucking her gangbanger boyfriend. That was Raider shit, dude. But yeah, I guess they're fucking at the Sky Dome in Toronto. It's probably Jose Canseco. He was on Toronto for a while, wasn't he? Yeah, so Alyssa Milano's got a 5 spot with pro ball players. She likes to fuck baseball players. I love that about that woman.
That's her sport.
That's her sport, is sport fucking. Alyssa likes to sport fuck ball players. That's fucking great. That's cool shit. That's my new, okay, I got to get a t-shirt with her on it. It's like, I support Alyssa's decisions. But Alyssa Milano, I wonder if she ever fucked Darryl Strawberry.
Oh, yeah, he's...
Because apparently Darryl liked to fuck. Like lots of ball players like to fuck, but Darryl Strawberry in particular, I guess, was like a sex addict. Where, do you remember us talking in episode 2 of this about how Tim Raines had to do coke in the parking lot, the locker room, the dugout? Like he couldn't go without it. It stayed in his back pocket, sliding head first, so he didn't break the bindle in his back pocket. All that shit with coke. That's the way Darryl Strawberry was with sex. They said to the point where, can you imagine that? Like Darryl's sitting there in the second inning. He just like fucking got a double, knocked in a run. He's sitting there and he's looking around the stands, and there's some girl flirting with him above the dugout. And he's all, look at them titties. And he's like, you know, and right then and there in the middle of the game, he's like, hey, come here, son. And he's like, he's giving little notes like in Bull Durham, like, hey, I want you to take this note and give it to that girl. Don't open it.
Wow, that was real.
That's
that was
real
like
shit.
Thing,
and the kid would run it up to like these chicks.
Shit.
Yeah, and they basically saying, hey, come meet me in the clubhouse right now. Like right now. And he'd have coaches and players supposedly covering for him. Where's Darryl? Oh, he had to take a piss. He'll be right back. And he'd be in the dugout getting or back in the clubhouse getting a blowjob or fucking, you know, doing whatever the hell he was doing. He just whatever Darryl wanted. And he'd be like, man, look at them titties. He'd be like, I want to fuck that right now. And he would literally send a note, they'd come in and they would come down. How do you do that? Baseball took longer back then, a little bit, but okay. So an average inning, 3 innings would usually be about an hour back in that day. You know, so you figure his half of that inning, you know, maybe it's the bottom of the order and he realizes, oh, we got a leadoff walk and a guy on there, they're changing pitchers. I'm going to fuck that girl in the second row right now. Go give her this note, and she'd come down and fuck him in the locker room like that. Like, can you imagine not having any control, but also having the power to do that?
That's pretty amazing.
Like, he didn't like force him. He was like, hey, do you want to come meet me and suck my dick in the clubhouse right now? Fuck yeah. I've had like 4 $20 beers, dude. I'm going to fucking come blow you right now.
The best interviews would be getting the women that actually did this.
How do we do that?
I don't know. You got to talk to Gerald Strawberry.
We got to find these women, dude. You're right,
like,
dude.
he's
I don't want to
even
hear.
know their name.
I've heard my friends. I've got blowjobs. I want to hear what they were thinking. Like, yeah, I had to suck this famous guy off.
He's 6'6". That's how tall he is.
Like, we don't have
It's
guys.
intimidating.
Us guys don't have that privilege of star fucking. Yeah. Like, we don't get to fuck famous people.
It's a privilege.
That's a privilege women have. They do. I wouldn't want to fuck a dude, but like a famous, because I'm not gay, but a famous woman like that I think's hot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a girl, I could never in my life go, like, I could never fuck Alyssa Milano. Every guy or girl was, oh, she's hot. I could never do that just being me. Like, I'm Jake. I'm a fucking run-of-the-mill dude. I do comedy here and there, and I'm not famous. I love baseball, though. Do you want to fuck? Like, that's not going to happen. But, like, a hot chick, like a waitress or something, could see a famous person, a rock star, a comedian, a fucking, like, somebody that's got a lot of money, a ball player, athlete, any of that shit. She could have nothing going on in her life. Nothing. Just fucking hanging out. I just hang out. I rent a house with 4 of my friends. I work part-time and I fuck. And that's, she'll get laid. She will fuck that superstar.
Right.
Dudes, we don't have that power.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go out and try and fuck Scarlett Johansson tonight. Are you out of your mind? Whereas like some girl that works at Cronies could be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Laker game tonight, and I think I'm gonna try and fuck Lonnie. What's the fucking dude for the Lakers been dropping threes lately? He's the hot ticket. Whatever, you get what I'm saying. She could go to a concert tonight at the Palladium. She could have gone last night to the Ventura Theater and fucked some guy from Yachtly Crew. Not like that. Not like that's a big deal, but it would have happened.
Shout out Yachtly Crew.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. So anyway, of course, unless you're Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah.
Then it's not really a chore. You basically send a note. But he's a superstar. It's what we were saying.
Yeah. So he was on Dr. Oz back in 2017, and he said he had sex between innings.
Teammates covered for me while I had sex between innings. So I'm saying, like, where's Strawberry? Why isn't he throwing up with the ball boy and right? And they're like, oh, he's tossing around the fucking Puerto Rican chick with the big tits in the second row behind the dugout right now. Oh, the one that looks like Rosie Perez? Yeah, fucking Daryl got her in the dugout. I don't know. That's Daryl Strawberry. I'll be honest with you guys. That was fucking boring, right?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Daryl Strawberry, you're fucking disappointing. What a fucking Oh, he was a sex addict. I want details, dude. Open your mouth more. Dwight Gooden's got good stories. You know whose stories weren't boring? You hear them all the time. I'm sure we've brought this up before. Mickey Mantle.
Oh, yeah.
That dude was a fucking sex hound, dude. That's all that dude wanted to do. He was with like Anne Margaret, fucking Angie Dickinson. Like he fucked all kinds of chicks, dude. Mickey? The Mick was crazy, and he was a fucking savage. Everyone knows this story. So there's an old timers day, I guess, at Yankee Stadium, right? Where all the old Yankee legends come back and they play a game, like a softball game, baseball game, before they have at Dodger Stadium. Well, the Yankees used to have that, and what they would do is they would have all the old legends write down their favorite memory of playing in a game at Yankee Stadium, something that stands out to them. So all these guys write these stories out, right? And it's like, oh, it was the 6th inning in this game and blah, 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 blah. And I had wrapped a double down the line and blah, blah. We got the win, and it was whatever it was. Or it's a goofy story about an interaction, something. And all the fans love it. Oh, look. And they see all this shit, and they see all their favorites older playing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the letter to Mickey Mantle for this game.
So, yeah, they had one at Yankee Stadium, and Mickey Mantle, Mickey being Mick. A lot of people have seen this story before, but here's some details. So they sent Mickey a thing saying, hey, would you like to be part of the Old Timers Day? So when they're there, they have to fill out this little questionnaire asking them what their favorite memory or a memory, one of their favorite memories from Yankee Stadium was while they played there and all this stuff. And it's a little card they fill out. And Mickey's, this one, here, we'll go to this thing. This is the actual card that they kept. They obviously didn't put it on the Jumbotron, for the fans to see.
Like the quote underneath.
Yeah, but it says, I consider the following my outstanding experience at Yankee Stadium. Mickey Mantle responds, I got a blowjob under the right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen. And then it goes on to say, the next part of the question here says, this event occurred on or about, give as much detail as you can. So Mickey goes ahead and fills in. I can see him fucking buzz too, writing this down, going, why the fuck not? And Mickey writes, it was about the third or fourth inning. I had pulled a groin and couldn't fuck at the time. She was a very nice girl and asked me what to do with the cum after I came in her mouth. I said, don't ask me. I'm no cocksucker. So that's Mickey Mantle's. He writes that down and hands it back to him. Here you go. Can you imagine if they didn't read his thing and they just put it up on the board for everyone to see?
That's funny.
But yeah, so that's Mickey Mantle. If you want to know how Mickey Mantle was in a nutshell, he also had to get blowjobs in the middle of the game. To his credit, though, he was on the IL. Right?
Yeah.
I like how he said he had a pulled hamstring at the time, so he couldn't fuck. Not that he was sitting out because of that. He's like, nah, I pulled my hammy. I wasn't able to fuck her, so I just got a blowjob.
It was his groin.
Whatever, dude. He pulled a muscle in his leg and wasn't able to fucking bang, so he went for the blowjob instead. But yeah, so there's a lot of sex in baseball. I don't know. We crossed over between horniest fans, which didn't make sense, but I don't know. You guys be the judge on that. There are a lot of horny Major League Baseball players. The Mickey Mantle thing was good. Darryl Strawberry's boring. He is, dude. The only reason I liked the Darryl Strawberry shit was because Lenny Dykstra had something to say about it. And Lenny's never boring. So we know there's a lot of sex in baseball, a lot of sex addicts in that. And we brought up other sports. We know there's tons of sex in other sports too. It's athletes. They like to fuck, right? And that's what brings us to our next topic. Is for you guys. Is baseball a sport, Brian?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, thanks, man. Fucking, that was bitching. But no, do you think, is it a sport or a game? I've always thought it was more of a game, but that's bullshit because I'm retracting on that. To be honest with you guys, a sport by definition doesn't have to involve athletes, right? Like a sportsman. Hunting is considered a sport, a sporting event, sportsman-like hunting, fishing, stuff like billiards, darts, bowling, even golf.
Anything that's like a skill involved, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think people cross that up is what they do, is when you talk about sports, people automatically think athletic. You got to be an athlete. Like an athlete to me is an Olympian. You know what I mean? Someone that's triathlete, can swim, run, jump, that cardio endurance, like they do certain things like that. Whereas like,
pushing your physical peak.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like
weightlifting.
Exactly. The old school Olympics is, to me, like that's a true athlete. That's exactly where I think baseball falls into this category, is because there athletes in baseball? Absolutely. Yeah. You have to be athletic. It's not completely, you can stand around in PJs and be fat. And people seem to think that the fare that you eat at baseball games is what baseball players eat for some dumb fucking reason. Those that live on hot dogs and beer and fucking wear PJs aren't real athletes. Yeah, dude, that's what Mike Trout and Clayton Kershaw and fucking Mookie Betts, that's what they eat, dude. They eat hot dogs and beer for fucking their life, you fucking idiots. Like fucking, what do you think, dude? They're like any of those guys, dude. They're like fucking training. They don't need, like, Chase Utley was a gnarly guy. He used to yell at Justin Turner about, the fuck are you eating dairy for? You put that shit in your body? Like, they're hardcore, dude, about that shit. No, dude, they live off beer, hot dogs, and chew. Fucking stupid. That's like that's what we eat. That's what us fucking slobs that aren't athletes eat, while we get fucking shit-faced and yell at them about not being athletic enough. It's fucking dummies. Yeah, people that, and it's like you see old pictures of baseball players and they got stubble and they've got beer guts and shit and big old chaw coming out their mouth, so you think like, this guy's not an athlete. And you may be right. A lot of them maybe weren't, but a ton of them are definitely athletes. And again, what the point is we're not talking about athletic and non-athletic. We're talking, is it a sport or is it a game? Mm-hmm. You don't need to be an athlete to play a sport.
Everyone can play it.
Right. And we just described that. Hunting, exactly. And that's the other thing about baseball is you can be short, you can be tall, you can be fat, you can be fucking skinny, and you can still play if you have the ability. I think baseball comes down to more
talent and ability.
Well, there's a different
skill.
Talent. There's an execution level. There's stuff like I was reading an article and it was really summing it up, saying like, yeah, there's more things like balance, great vision, being aware at all times. It's constant. It's not in the moment play. You have to be thinking ahead. Like, if you're running a play in football, you need to get that play done to get to the next one. Same thing in basketball. You're running okay, we're going to run this play to get to the score. In baseball, a pitcher is thinking. They say Greg Maddux used to be thinking almost like chess or checkers, 4 hitters ahead. Like Greg Maddux used to first at bat with a guy like say Tony Gwynn, who owned Greg Maddux, but just say like a really good hitter. First inning, he even said I might get him to a point where I pitched 2 pitches to him and I got him 0-2, and I might purposely on that time 0-2 throw him a pitch like a fastball that I maybe know I shouldn't, or that's not what I want to throw. And even if he gets a hit, then it's in his head that if he gets me 0-2, he's going to throw that fastball away again. Yeah. Next at bat, which is 2 innings later, he gets to that count 0-2, same 2 pitches. That hitter's going, this is what he did last time. Except instead of the fucking fastball dying away, he's going to throw a breaking pitch inside on the hands. Do you see what I'm saying by like that strategy in baseball? He's already thinking about this dude, the first at bat, going, okay, I'll get him. Like he's setting him up for 2 innings later. He's thinking already. He's maybe pitching. Greg Maddux would think like, here's the hitters this inning. I'll approach each one as I get to them. Constant warfare. Whereas like in basketball, you're coming down, you're running the triangle. Hey, 2-2. You calling 2? No, really, that's a play. They're running a play right then, and boom, 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 you score.
It's very
then
spontaneous.
You're thinking, and they may do that too. I'm not saying they don't. Where they're thinking, okay, and I've seen them do that in transition. Well, that's working all game. They might fuck it up. I don't think they're trying to fuck it up on purpose, though, like in baseball. Yeah. I'll give up a hit to get that in his head. I don't think they're giving up. Let him shoot it. They just happen to let him shoot it. I'm like, fuck, stop him from shooting it. Like he's nailing it every time. Whereas a guy, when you're pitching, it's a one-on-one battle mentally. A lot of times hitters are guessing. They're guessing what pitch is coming. They don't fight. It's not reactionary. They don't have the time to react that quick. They're trying to outthink. Okay, he just threw this, and that. I don't see that happening in other. It's like playing chess. You're thinking ahead. If any of you have played chess, it's not checkers where you can play that with your kids and tic-tac-toe it. Yeah. It's really thinking ahead. Certain moves, certain innings, thinking ahead, certain batters, even on the defensive side.
Yeah, you're thinking
who's batting. How's the pitcher throwing him?
Where's the ball going to be
If hit? It's a left-handed hitter coming up, you're not just going, I'm the right fielder. I better back up because if he pulls one, it's right at me. It's going to be deep. It's coming my way. That's what it says. It's like, how's he pitching him? Well, we already went over this before the game. This guy kills the inside pitch, so we're going to be going away, away, away. So when he comes up, shift, head over to right center because we're not throwing him inside. If we make a mistake and he burns us, oh well, but the game plan is away, 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 shift that way. Oh, now a left-handed pitcher came in because the last guy got on base, we got to take him out. New strategy, this guy hits lefties terrible, so we are going to pitch him inside. Stay to the left side this time. It's constant. And then like, what's the guy at first doing? If he's stealing second, the center fielder's got to back that up on the throw. Like, you're not just chilling. The right fielder's got to back the center fielder up if that throw gets through. Like everyone in the field, it's like a round robin. And then that's just the basis of the game. Then it comes down to hitting. You're seeing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball 3-4 times in a row, whether it's fair. And then the next pitch is same arm speed, same everything, 78 miles an hour. You have a 1/10 of a second to react to that. That's not a Hail Mary in football running down the field and jumping up and catching it over 3 guys. Very athletic in so many different ways. Speed, power, agility, like for the football player. Baseball, now that same receiver can run downfield and make that grab, whereas, say, maybe Gavin Lux can't. But at the same time, can that fucking wide receiver stand in there and see the difference between the pitches, differentiate in that at bat, make adjustments in the at bat, take a round object and hit another round object and square it up and hit it. You know what I mean? Like there's something to baseball players that makes it different.
I think the interesting thing about baseball is it's a team sport, but it's more individual.
Yeah, it's an individual team sport.
Right. And when you're playing football or basketball, it's like the whole team's moving together.
Yes, those are definitely more involved. Whereas baseball, you have to bring something to the table, but you also have to get your teammates too. But it's hard to explain. You are doing something individual, and you have to be good at it in order to back up your other. A guy ahead of you gets a big double into the gap, and the pitcher just threw 7 innings, and you're tied 1-1. You're helping your pitcher out. You're helping the team out. You're helping that guy in front of you who just, like, there's 2 outs. You need to get in. Like, you got to execute and get the base hit in to score and run. You're helping out, like, 5 different people. And I know that sounds silly because, like, well, yeah, when you score in football or basketball, the whole team, you're helping the team win. You are, but it's like it's one individual act at a time as opposed to one conglomerate. Like, you know, I know the receiver goes this way and the other guy runs this route and it throws them off and it'll leave 2 of you open and the quarterback's got to hit you and all that stuff. And that's all individual based, but it's not. It's all in motion at the same simultaneously. And it has to execute.
You have the time limit of the game.
You do have a time limit.
Of basketball and football.
Baseball is pretty much somebody gives you a job and says, here you go.
Right.
The only way you're going to get out is if you don't do this.
Yeah.
You don't, the clock's not on you. Get the job done. Get the guy over to third base. You're a pro baseball player. Bunt him over. Yeah. It's not that easy. There's so much more athleticism involved in, say, basketball, soccer, football, where you are constantly your cardiovascular, your agility, this and that. Whereas baseball, you can be set, but baseball to me is like setting a trap. Like you set something up perfectly and it has to go just right to succeed. Pop, you get it and you wait. Boom, 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 action. And then you got it and it worked or it didn't. Yeah. Whereas everything else is just constantly like, all right, you ready? Set, go. And it's just like, brrr, and there's strategy and you think about before. Baseball is like, you ready to do this? All right. You're up now. Get it done.
Now it's your turn.
It's your turn. And that you're the spotlight. You don't get to hide in the corner and then suddenly the ball is to you and you hit a 3 or you pick up a fumble out of nowhere. No one knows the fuck you are and run it down and score. You are in the spotlight. That is you. It's individual. It's like boxing, golf. The spotlight is on you at that moment. When the Lakers lose, there's not one guy you're going, okay, well, this guy didn't play that good. He had an off night. But conglomerate, you're like, that sucked. Whereas when a baseball team loses, you usually go, oh, yeah, Syndergaard got his ass lit up and they lost 8-2. It's on him. Yeah. You're not really thinking fucking Dodgers lost. You say that. You say the Dodgers lost, and the first thing you go to is, who was pitching? Yeah,
what inning were they pitching?
Who gave up the shit? You know, or when they win, oh fuck, they did. They won 5-2, and they're like, what was that? Oh yeah, so and so had a bases clearing double in the bottom of the 9th. It was on them. Or if they lost, what happened? Fucking, they had bases loaded, 2 outs, and Freeman struck out to end it. It's on Freeman now. It's not. Oh, they lost. Like last night, Golden State lost to the Lakers. You're not going, fucking Steph Curry blew it. Yeah. No, he fucking the whole team. Klay Thompson blew it. No, maybe they didn't play good. They didn't blow it. Whereas like Freddie Freeman gets the blame if he strikes out with runners on in the 9th and fucking 2 down. Yeah. It's not like that in other sports. You hear way more about a starting pitcher.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or the guy that did get caught looking or left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th, the World Series. You'll hear his name. You're not going to hear about
Bill
the
Buckner.
team. Yeah.
Behind the bag.
Bill Buckner. Dude, great example. No one remembers that the 86 Red Sox team lost.
Yeah.
They remember that Bill Buckner lost that series for him by letting the ball go between his legs.
He had death threats. He had
up.
like just people after him.
If Robert Horry doesn't hit that 3-pointer for the Lakers and that one against the Spurs to win it, no one's mad at him.
No.
It was close, but they remember him. Well, look what happens in baseball.
Yeah.
You get remembered as the culprit, the guy that did. I don't think that happens in any other sport.
Right.
Maybe football with the quarterback, but even then, bullshit.
It's the whole team working
It's
together.
the whole team. No one's blaming the Chiefs and who was the other quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes?
He won, but who was the other one? Nobody's really blaming, Joe Burrow lost. It's the Bengals that lost. Yeah. Like, no one said that, the Pats lost. Tom Brady blew it for him, even if he threw the interception or fumbled it. It's the Patriots that lost. Whereas when the Dodgers lost, Kershaw took an unbelievable amount of heat. He can't pitch in big situations. He's the reason they lost. He can't get it done. It wasn't the Dodgers can't get it done. It was the individual that was getting shit on. That doesn't happen in other sports. Tell me what sport that happens in.
Yeah, but the NFL is also unique because you also have players that are specialized in offense or defense. They're not playing. They're not hitting in the field. It's like two different psyches.
Yeah, basketball. That's true too. Basketball and baseball and hockey. See, football isn't like that. You're right. Football, you don't go both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, what the fuck, dude? I was just thinking, you don't even play both sides of the ball. You get to sit half the fucking game.
Yeah.
So you're not even playing a full game.
Right.
I never even thought of that. So, dude, okay, and here's the other thing.
Discovery.
I just didn't think like, like basketball, you play defense and offense.
Right.
And you can be good at both. Same with baseball.
Oh, but
you're
hockey,
a glove man and a bat man.
But hockey, you have 3 lines. You have 3 people that play your like 2 other people that play your position because you're gonna get fucking tired in like 2 minutes.
I totally forgot about that. They don't play both sides of the fucking ball like in high school.
Yeah.
You know? College, that shit kind of stops. You're like, okay, you're on defense. So you're playing half of this game. So now I'm starting to think, wait a minute, hold the fucking phone. So there's only like 20-something of actual play minutes in a football game that those guys are out there.
Yeah.
That now I'm starting to think you guys ain't shit. Are you kidding me, dude? Where they have pads on and they're 300 pounds and they fucking hit each other.
We're not completely shitting on the NFL. Don't come after us. This is Screwballs.
Yeah, we are fucking idiots, so get into it. But no, think about that. I bet you never thought, fuck, you're right. Here's the other thing. They say baseball's boring, right?
And now there's a beach ball on the field. And the ball boys are discussing which one of them's gonna go get it.
I never realized how boring this game is.
Oh, that's a big argument about it being boring comparatively to the NFL, a sport that moves constantly. Well, they did a study on actual game play, like time that the ball is in play and moving, that there's something happening. And Major League Baseball, there is more action in a Major League Baseball game than there is the NFL. For those of you that didn't know that, the NFL is what I got to watch. Baseball doesn't move enough. It's boring. Bullshit. How much time do you sit there not watching action, waiting through timeouts, penalty flags, fucking sitting there while they blah, 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 and then it's like a cloud of dust and 5 seconds later play's done and then you wait another minute and a half, 2 minutes for another 5 to 10 second play? When a guy's pitching, the ball is in play, right? Catches it, throws it back, he's got it. The next pitch is coming within 30 seconds. And if the guy hits it and it's a home run or into the gap, that whole time he's around the bases, everyone's cheering, or the ball's into the gap, he's sprinting around, they throw the ball into third, and there's a quick tag play and safe, out, whatever. Yeah. That's more action in that like 8 to 10 seconds on a triple or something hitting to the gap than there is on like a fucking, even like a 40-yard touchdown run.
And I like the new pitch clock. I mean, it's really predictable.
Yeah, I was against it, dude. And now I don't mind it.
It makes the game more predictable, I think.
I don't like that the games are finishing quicker. And like if I'm doing shit, I have to constantly keep running back in to check because I'm like, shit, you don't have that much time. They're not wandering around the mound, rubbing their head and fucking scuffing the ball up and, I don't know. I think baseball is definitely, it's a sport. There's no doubt about it because that's what you define sport as. And, they say baseball players aren't athletes, which is bullshit. Because here's my argument against that. If you take a guy, like look at Deion Sanders, he was an athlete. A guy could run, jump, he was buff, sprint, all that shit. Like, he was strong, agile, powerful, fast. He killed it at football. He was a fucking superstar in football. He was really good at baseball, but he was barely above average, and he had good speed. Yeah. He played for the Braves, but he was good enough to play. He had a little bit of difference. But that's my point, is he was a superstar fucking football player. Prime time. Everyone remembers Deion Sanders. Baseball? Yeah. He was mediocre.
Well, Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson was different. Bo could play in both, because Bo was actually good at fucking football and baseball. Like,
Bo knows.
he was a fucking superstar in baseball. He was an all-star. He could fucking hit the ball, throw, speed, power, average. He was legit. And in football, same shit. Deion was a great baseball player, but he wasn't fucking a superstar. There's a lot of other guys that would have taken over him. You know, and then you got a guy like
Michael
Jordan, who was the best basketball player of all time. Ever. Great athlete. You guys ever see him play baseball at a pro level? Huh? He fucking sucked. He was terrible. The only reason he got into the league was because Jerry Reinsdorf, who owned the Bulls, owned the White Sox, and was like, yeah, MJ, you can do whatever you want. Try it out. I was great as a kid and in high school. He tried out. He didn't get past 2 or 3A, and he fucking sucked. So the world's greatest basketball player couldn't hit or play baseball for shit. Does that tell you anything? And one of the all-time best cornerbacks and fucking football and kick run back guys of all time, Deion Sanders, was pretty mediocre at baseball.
Wait, but so he only played one game, Michael Jordan?
Even more to my point, dude.
It was an exhibition game against the Cubs.
He was terrible, dude. Exactly. Yeah. He didn't even play. And then here's the other point I'll make about baseball players playing other sports. If you look through Major League Baseball, there is a ton of major leaguers that played football and basketball at college level or higher, or like or at least high school, were like all state in their sports at different sports. Like, I'll give you a prime example. You guys know Davante Adams, one of the top receivers in the NFL. He's like a superstar, am I right? Yeah. That guy and Jock Peterson, the outfielder for the Giants, former Dodger, who's, he hits 25 to 30 home runs a year, doesn't play all the time, comes up big in the clutch. Jock Peterson had more catches, more touchdowns, more yards and everything. He had better numbers the senior year at Palo Alto High School than his teammate, Davante Adams.
Wow.
Yeah, Jock Peterson was a better wide receiver than Davante Adams in high school senior year, and Jock went with baseball. So that's what I'm saying is, like, I'm pretty sure Jock could hang in the NFL. Yeah. Yasiel Puig, remember that freak?
Yeah.
Ran like a 4 flat and was like 6'3" and 240 pounds. You're telling me that guy couldn't play in the NFL? That guy couldn't be a linebacker? Get out of here. Mike Trout couldn't play in the NFL. Matt Kemp, the former Dodger center fielder, he had like a scholarship as a point guard to Oklahoma State. Tony Gwynn was quite a basketball player at like Long Beach State, or was going to and a lot of them played football. Clayton Kershaw was a center in high school and could have played. He's actually played with the Rams quarterback, Matthew Stafford. They were They were good friends, played baseball together in Texas, grew up together. But like, all those guys played, and they all, what
about the other way, where you can say, like, would Hunter Green be a great quarterback? I don't know if he played football at Notre Dame, but
that's another thing too, is like two-way guys. John Elway.
Yeah.
John Elway got a scholarship to play, or a full ride. I'm sorry. That was to Stanford. He got drafted by the Yankees, like John Elway out of Stanford, I think, as a pitcher. Dude, that guy, they say, used to throw a football 90 miles an hour over a certain thing and leave the crosses in your chest and shit through the pads or in your arms when you caught it. Like, that dude had a cannon. You imagine how hard he could throw a fucking baseball?
Oh, my God.
The other guy is Russell Wilson. He was in minor league for the Rockies up until a couple of years ago. He would report every year for the minor leagues to play. But I heard Patrick Mahomes was a good baseball player, pitcher. Colin Kaepernick was a great baseball player, pitcher, I heard.
So they're more athletes than...
Yeah, well, that's the point, is what I'm saying. Is like, baseball players aren't athletes, really. I was like, a guy, have you ever thrown 110 pitches as hard as you can off of a mound?
Yeah.
The only reason you're throwing 110 is because you're actually executing them too. You don't just get up there and throw as hard as you can off a mound and like, they're high stress, you precision, fucking off speed, throwing different breaking pitches. Like it's a whole, there's so many facets of it.
And you also have to watch your mechanics, because if you're not throwing the correct way, your arm's going to be toast.
No, well, that's the whole thing too. Like you could be a quarterback for years. You throw on the run. You throw off one foot.
You get
tackled. You get fucked up. And you're fine. If you have something that's bothering you in your shoulder and you're adjusting your mechanics because it hurts to favor something out, you're going to wear that other muscle out and cause an injury. That's pitchers, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the other thing is they're saying baseball players are fat and slow and they're not agile. I'm like, have you seen shortstops, third baseman, like going into the hole, backhand, throwing off one leg across like 180 feet?
Jumping like 10 feet in the air.
80 miles an hour, yeah. Robbing home runs, diving catches, sprinting, and then tracking a ball down. Does anyone have any idea how fucking hard that is to do off a bat when it's hit 108 miles an hour off the bat? Imagine from home plate, you don't know where it's going. You're in center, ready, and 108 coming at you. Oh shit! And you got to just move and you got to track it. You got to see exactly where it's going, and like, this is my line. This is my route to the ball. Not saying that any sport running a route against the fastest, strongest people in the world, like in the NFL, and trying to get open and join up catching is easy or anything. But I'm just saying it's the argument we're making that baseball players aren't athletes. It's the biggest farce ever. Yeah. So this idea that baseball players aren't athletes and that like, oh, the NFL is full of athletes. I'm sorry. Have you seen linemen?
Yeah.
Fucking linemen. That guy's an athlete. 320 pounds, 6'5". What the fuck else can he do besides get in your way?
Some of them
or
can
fall
run.
on you. Yes, some of them can run. Since when is running athletic? Anyone can fucking run. Any human being that has their life threatened can fucking run. That's an instinctive thing you do to get away from people or danger. That's not athletic. Literally, those guys' job, eat, take steroids, lift weights, and fucking be in people's ways, fall on people, crush them, tackle them. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about linebackers. I'm talking about fucking linemen, like Refrigerator Perry, defensive line.
Yeah.
370 pounds. Yeah, if he gets a hold of you, he's going to fall on you. You're not going to go anywhere. Get the fuck out of here, dude. These guys fucking linemen are not athletes, dude. Some of them may be athletic, but they can't do shit. Like, they're just big fucking dudes, dude. You know what I mean? That's like saying a sumo wrestler is athletic. Yeah, sumo wrestlers are athletic the same way linemen are. You know, fucking look out if you can catch me, dude. That's why you're a lineman. You're not a defensive back because you're fucking fat. You're not going to be able. You're not an athlete. I don't want to hear that, dude. There isn't one Major League Baseball player that is less of an athlete than fucking any fucking lineman in the NFL, dude. Do you know what I mean?
They're just
I don't know if I said that right. There's no lineman in the NFL that's a better athlete than the worst Major League Baseball player. Bartolocolon is a better athlete than fucking any of the linemen out there today. Yeah, he can. Exactly. That's a skill, dude. That's my point, man. I'm telling you, dude. There's non-athletes in every fucking thing you go to, except maybe soccer. The NFL, definitely non-athletes, dude.
Right.
Give me a break. Linemen ain't shit in that respect. Oh, bull, dude. They're agile. They're fucking big. You try moving and being that big. No, that's why I respect the NBA. Those guys are big and can move and are agile and actually impressive when you realize, like, Jesus, dude, you're actually an athlete. You don't have the skill to hit a fucking baseball, but you definitely are, you know, I'm 5'10" and I can't do anything. These guys are like 6'8", 7 feet tall, are jumping over people, dunking, hitting threes, falling, getting up quick. Like, dude. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thanks for tuning in again. We'll be back again next week. We got some stuff coming up on Saturday, May 20th, Comedy Slice in Ventura out at Pizza Chief on Telegraph and Kimball Road in Ventura. That's our monthly show. We have a great lineup. We got this month, we have Handren Seavey. Who else is on there? Ariana Ramick, Madison Sinclair, Willie Simon, and hosted by yours truly. Always a good time. We have a live piano player there, hot pizza, and
great.
cold beer.
The piano player is great.
Yeah, piano player Sam Alaniz is a great piano player. He'll be out there. We do a 50-50 raffle with a cash payout, so come on out. And it's a free show with a 2-item minimum. You just got to support the business by buying a pitcher of beer and a pizza, but you got to reserve your seats by calling 805-647-8888. Again, that's Comedy Slice, Saturday, May 20th, out at Pizza Chief in Ventura, free comedy show. We have people from the Comedy Store and the Hollywood Improv on these shows. Always a good time, so just make a reservation, and we'll see you there May 20th. All right, I think that's it. I feel like shit. I'm all over the place. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So have a good one. We'll see you next episode. All right, I'm out.
See ya.
Intercepted, picked up by Wilfork. He's done it again. Look at the big man run and drag him up to the 49. He is too big and too strong to be carrying the ball. 19-yard interception return. Campbell throws his second pick today.